What is going on, everyone? Welcome into Big Time Football Talk. So, I want to get into this. To start off with, the Pittsburgh Steelers really do look like a Super Bowl contender, in my opinion. This is really a team that's really just thriving in all facets of the game, running the ball. James Conner, very solid running back. You look Big Ben, he's been doing it for a long time. Him and Mike Tomlin actually have won a Super Bowl together. Big Ben, multiple Super Bowls with Pittsburgh. Big Ben, been in the league for quite a while now. I remember that first one coming back in against Seattle back in was 05, 06. So, yeah, healthy. I knew a healthy Big Ben would really thrive and keep this offense going because you got some weapons at receiver. Obviously, Antonio Brown been gone a couple years now. No Le'Veon, but you've really seen guys really step up. Deontay Johnson in some games. Chase Claypool has had some couple monster games, but I think he's been on more of teams' radars now, so they've kind of kept him in check a little bit. And then on defense, T.J. Watt, Devin Bush going down, that really hurts, but they've really got some playmakers on defense too. Mika Fitzpatrick, which that trade looks magnificent. And I said a while ago that was one of the better trades of last season, if not the best trade of last year. But so Pittsburgh moving forward, this is still an unbeaten team, a very dangerous team in the playoffs. I'd be so curious to see how they match up against the Chiefs. To be honest, I don't know if I'm that confident against them playing the Chiefs. I know they can beat them, and I know they can compete, but that would be a matchup that people would just be very interested in seeing when it comes playoff time. But so love what Pittsburgh's doing now. And when you have an injury like Devin Bush and you can continue to play at a high level and you come out against the Titans and really make a statement early on and getting a big lead, that really shows about what this team's made of, and it shows that they're a very confident football team, and they're just destined to do something good this year, whether that's a long playoff run or even a Super Bowl. But very confident, really like what I've seen out of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know in years past this defense, like a couple years ago, wasn't that great, but moving forward, this is a defense that just keeps improving, and this is a team you don't want to mess with come playoff time. But so the next thing I want to talk about, I'm not really worried about the Buccaneers after the near loss to the Giants on Monday Night Football. I think when you make a championship run, or if you're a championship quality team, you're going to have some low points during the year. It's just a given. And for them to still fight back and pull it out really says a lot about this team. And that was kind of one of their close calls. And I think Tampa just keeps improving. Gronk keeps getting more involved, and now if you bring in Antonio Brown, this is just such a deadly wide receiver crew. It's just scary. And, the offensive line has played fairly well. That was a concern I had. Not a lot of star power on the offensive line, and the defense is just growing up before our eyes. You look in the secondary, and Murphy Bunting and Jamal Dean, at linebacker, Devin White. They lost Vita Vea, but they've had the guy they brought in has really stepped up and played well. And the young talent and the veterans, just a good mesh. Levante David having one of his best seasons in the National Football League at linebacker. So a lot of great things from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think this is just a team that plays New Orleans this week, which is a very telling game to see how much they've improved, because in week one, this team, Tom Brady and Evans looked out of sync, and the wide receivers looked out of sync. But this time against New Orleans, I think you'll see see them get a win this Sunday, and you'll see, wow, this team has really improved from week one. He went from losing to the Saints the first time around in week one to now in week 9. This is looks like a whole different team with Gronk involved in the offense, and the defense is flying around making plays and, growing up in front of our very own eyes. So that's what I wanted to just get into that a little bit. And, last night, my Thursday night takeaways, Rodgers and Davante Adams have just an incredible connection. It really was an amazing story, the Davante Adams story, because he came into the league, was fairly highly touted. I think he was a second-round pick I remember he played at Fresno State. Had a very good career at Fresno State, was an outstanding player there, played with Derek Carr, so he had a great quarterback throwing him the ball out there in Fresno. And I guess it was he struggled with some confidence his first year in Green Bay. And because if you remember that year that going into, it was the 2015 season, you had Randall Cobb get hurt, and you also had Jordy Nelson go down with the ACL. And Davante Adams was supposed to be that guy that would really step up and shine with those two guys out, and that just didn't happen. Said that you let drops get to his head, but you've seen that his confidence go up and his potential and that connection just grow with Aaron Rodgers. And you've seen him really blossom into a top 5 receiver in the National Football League. And it's very exciting for Davante Adams because it's kind of hard to overcome something like that early on where you're dealing with confidence issues, you're not playing well, and to go from having the issues with the confidence and the poor play and to just turn around and become not only a good receiver, a top 5 receiver in the NFL is truly amazing, and he's so valuable to the Packers because one thing I said in a draft class this deep, it kind of was ridiculous that Green Bay did not draft a wide receiver. See, their first-round pick was spent on a quarterback who was it's still unknown what he'll develop into. It's too early to write the book, obviously, way too early. But A.J. Dillon at running back in the second round, and then after that, still no wide receiver. From then on in a draft class that was just absolutely loaded at the position, so really inexcusable. I was curious to see if it looks like the Packers aren't going to trade for a wide receiver now before the trade deadline. I think Julio would have probably been a good option, but it's too late for that now. And the Packers are going to move forward. And if Davante Adams and Rodgers keep this connection up and their confidence both stays high, I don't see why the Packers could not make a playoff push. When Aaron Rodgers is playing like this, it's really a thing of beauty to see him in rhythm. Whether you like Aaron Rodgers, whether you hate him, whether you're neutral about him, he's when he's in rhythm and playing with confidence, it is something else. It is just kind of wild how just accurate and how composed he can be in the pocket, and just the ability to make plays, and his pocket presence is just incredible. But yeah, that's some of my takeaways from Thursday night action. So looking forward to this this Week 9 slate of NFL games. Locally, the Lions and Vikings. The Vikings, a team that's I think they're a better team than their record. The Lions obviously might be without Stafford, dealing with a COVID issue, and I kind of wrote off the Lions. I think this isn't a playoff team to me, but the Vikings with Devin Cook rolling, it's very interesting to see what this team can do moving forward. And if Devin Cook stays healthy and keeps running the ball like he's been, could be a scary team, and a team that you really don't want to play, even if you look at the record and you go, that's not a good team. They're like Atlanta. Just even though with the 2 wins, it's just like when their offense gets rolling, it's not really something you want to mess with, to be honest. But yeah. So one thing I've really been impressed with is I've watched this season, and it's this is a good transition to, well, I was talking about it a second ago, but still kind of a good transition. This wide receiver draft class has impressed me so much this season. I mean, CeeDee Lamb, Jerry Jeudy, Jalen Reagor, Chase Claypool, you can go down the list. It shows just how much depth and how much just superstar talent at the wide receiver position this draft class adds. It really is unreal. And it's going to go down in history as one of the best all-time, if not the best, wide receiver draft class, and it's showing on the field early on through the first half of the season. So impressed with this draft class. And, it is it's something. But yeah, this draft class as a whole is, very impressive to me. Joe Burrow at quarterback has really looked the part. Tua had an okay debut with the Dolphins, and Justin Herbert has looked really good despite the Chargers blowing a lead just about every week. And I think it's really time for Anthony Lynn to go. because when a team blows leads like that, it's really on the coach. I mean, you have to put it on the coach because the players, good players cannot overcome bad coaching, and you saw the Chargers do have good players because they're leading in that game. You have to have if you have bad players and bad coaching, you're likely not going to lead in games. So you know that the players are good because you're winning games. But Anthony Lynn is holding them back with something. There's something off there. Their late game adjustments is just not working, and I think it's probably time for the Chargers to move on from Anthony Lynn because, like I've said for years, the Chargers always have brought in good talent. You look back in the day, Phillip Rivers, LaDainian Tomlinson, they really draft well. You see, what's funny is, to me, Justin Herbert seemed like the most Chargers pick ever. He was a guy that a lot of people weren't sold on, but you knew he had the potential to turn into a superstar. And he's really that pick that, the Browns, I think when they need a quarterback a few years ago, would overthink and not take, instead take the safe guy like Baker Mayfield. He's Baker Mayfield is a great competitor, big numbers in college, but, Justin Herbert, sometimes the guy with the most question marks and the talent, but all the tools pays off. And that was Josh Allen. That's Justin Herbert. And like I said, sometimes you just can't overthink it. But because to me, when you overthink, you seem to want to go safe. When I play fantasy football, I would always draft too many guys like Julian Edelman, high floor, but not as high as ceiling guys. Because when you overthink, you want to just go safe. You can't always just go with the safe draft pick. Life's about taking risks. Drafting players in the NFL draft's about taking risks too, and I think the Chargers understood this. But I think they had overall. Well, that's one of the things that's kind of like a domino effect. When you've drafted well in years past and you have like a good nucleus of talent, you can take some more risks. That's really the problem with the Lions is when you've missed on so many of these draft picks. This is the case for the New York Jets too. Once you've missed on so many of these draft picks, you've kind of just it puts more pressure on you to draft high level players, and you really have to sweat and think, man, is this guy really the guy that could be that superstar playmaker? And it just makes drafting that much more high pressure of a situation, so much harder to hit on these guys. But when you have a good nucleus of talent like the Chargers that one year when they got Derwin James, they're just like, what the heck? Let's take Derwin James. Safety wasn't necessarily their biggest need of a position, but when you can just take some risks like that, and so that's kind of my take on that. But so, yep, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe on the Patreon. If you're not a Patreon member, go join that at patreon.com. I can link below on my video, so make sure you guys do that. This weekend, or last weekend, the Broncos were the team that had that big comeback on the Chargers, and I just want to get into, I think that the Broncos are a team that is potentially dangerous moving forward because they have so many pieces on this team that I think in the future it's just going to, I like the Chargers. I think they're going to start hitting on other players on the defensive side of the ball. And with so many, it just shows that with this draft class, they have so many receivers like Tyree Cleveland, who was a superstar of Florida, kind of the under-the-radar guy. And you have him. Too, he's not like your fourth or fifth guy, and Cortland Sutton got injured. He was really like basically your number one wideout. But with all these pieces, they have trade capital, and they'll get the defensive side of the ball figured out. So the Broncos, to me, if you want to have a team on your radar, that's a team to keep on your radar and moving forward. So, but I think I'll wrap with that, guys. Thanks for tuning in this episode of Big Time Football Talk. Make sure to stay tuned for more episodes from the show. Till next time, peace.